Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Unknown Comics Podcast. I'm Brandon. There's Chris. There's Tanner. Oh, nope. I'm the odd man out this week. I'm not wearing an Unknown shirt. I was the only guy last week.
If it helps, I'm not wearing an Unknown hoodie, but not a shirt.
Oh, yeah. Apparel.
Okay, there we go.
There you go. Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great evening. If you're not watching us live on twitch.tv/unknowncomicbooks, thank you for joining us on YouTube or wherever you're listening to us podcast-wise. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, rate, all those things that you need to do.
Just all the clicking.
Just click it, thumb it up, say stuff.
Heart it.
All the stuff. Hey, Be Nasty.
Retweet.
Welcome to Twitch.
That's not anything.
So, yeah, let me put this in preview here. So
before we get too far into this, I just have to say the transition from song to going live.
It was very abrupt.
It wasn't.
Somebody needs to fix that.
I was like getting into the beat. Oh, okay, we're live. All right.
Hopefully I'll have time to fix that tomorrow because tomorrow morning we've got a live sale.
We do.
So we don't have a whole lot of time in the morning to get stuff corrected.
Yep.
So at 11 a.m. Central right here at twitch.tv/unknowncomicbooks or on our Facebook. We're doing both for now.
Instagram as well.
Instagram as well.
Instagram has the white shot.
Did you see that look?
Instagram has the white shot. There's 30,000 people on there. At least we can push them to Twitch for a while.
There you go. Anyway. I went on Twitch earlier. And said hi.
We are on Twitch. You went on Instagram.
Whatever I did earlier. I went on Instagram earlier.
He went on a social media platform.
I hit the button.
He hit the meta.
On the
metaverse. He got on the metaverse. That hits almost all of them, right?
There you go. Yeah. We do what we got to do. But Twitch is where my heart is.
We're trying to find you all and get you to where Brandon's heart is.
Right here. So lots of stuff to talk about tonight. We're going to go see Eternal, or most of us are going to go see Eternals.
Yeah, somebody
bailed.
Somebody doesn't know how to tell his wife, I don't care, I'm going. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what my wife hates movies, so it's easy.
So we for those watching not live, we may be able at some point to do kind of an appendage video.
A recapage.
Brandon drunk.
If not, we'll just talk about it next week.
Not yet.
Yeah,
but
he will. There may be some killer Kool-Aid or something happening at the movie theater.
What I do know is I'm not paying for drinks at the Synergy. I'm going to sneak a mini bottle in or something because holy cow, that stuff's expensive. So when we went to go see Dune at the Cinemark, what was it, the week before last?
Yeah.
Like they have these pre-made cocktails. So it was like a Jack and Coke. $12 for this.
They didn't even make it?
No, it's pre-made.
Well, we're going to Synergy this time. So.
They do make it at least, but still. They
have full bars there. So
yeah, I just order a Coke. Blah, 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 blah. Done.
You got your airport stash?
Yeah. No,
less than 2 ounces.
But yeah, man, it's just, you're already paying inflated theater prices, right?
Yeah.
Add alcohol on top of that, they're getting you.
And if you get some food from there.
Yeah, which I don't know if I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I probably will.
At least the food's pretty good.
At least the food's decent. Yeah, that's Synergy. So, so we may or may not do kind of an add-on video to this.
If not, we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week.
I'll give everybody a little bit of time for, the big spoiler is already out there.
I haven't heard it.
Is it the leak?
You did, because you told me.
I did?
In our conversation. It's a certain singer that shows up in the end credits.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
Oh, did that pan out?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They leaked the end credit scene.
I knew it was a
Twitter couldn't help itself.
I knew it was a rumor. I didn't know
it was like
confirmed.
hashtags galore. That was.
So he is Star Fox?
Yeah, from what I understand.
There you go.
So,
Yeah, we just spoiled that, but that's cool.
Well, if you're a smarty, you catch on. But if not, you have no idea what we're talking about.
Cameo,
or you have
right?
no idea who the Marvel Eternal characters are, and you're like, who the hell's that? 'Cause I had to Google it.
And I said this in our chat.
I run a comic store.
I hate to say it, but I have never been so unexcited for a Marvel movie ever.
Yeah.
Like my hype cannot build for this, and I want to give it the benefit of the doubt. I guess at this point I can only be pleasantly surprised.
That's how I'm like. Yeah. I'll go see it. I don't care one way or the other.
For me, it's basically I'm finding out who they are.
Yeah.
That's what I'm just going to get an explanation on who these characters are.
Yeah.
It's going to be different from the comic books, which is fine. The whole MCU has been.
Yeah, for me, I just want to know what the overall ramifications to the MCU are. That's kind of my.
Yeah.
I want to know how this fits and where it's taking it.
Because at this point, I'm so invested in the Loki Kang, what's going to happen with the multiverse stuff, that if this has nothing multiverse, then I automatically don't care.
And I want to see more than 5 seconds of a live Celestial.
Yeah,
Because that'll be cool.
Yeah, I bet you get that in kind of like the opening credit.
But I think this is like more than 2 hours long, so
it's a long movie.
It's a good runtime.
Hey, Papa Swat Jeezy, thank you for the Prime sub. Thank you very much.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
So yeah, like I said, we can only go up from here.
Same
it does
thing.
look very different.
Hey, Be Nasty, if your name is the same on YouTube, I think you won a Final Order Cutoff video.
I think so.
So make sure you check out our Final Order Cutoff video today if you have the same name on our YouTube channel. Just saying.
Yeah. So Mike says, super low expectations. I feel I have to see it so I can watch. Yeah, exactly. The
Spider-Man's the one we're all going to be disappointed in.
I don't think so.
Well, when Kevin Feige comes out and he's like, listen, you got to lower your expectations. We can't do all that in one movie kind of a deal.
Yeah, I'm not so hyped about all the potential cameos. Like, I could care less.
Yeah.
Again, I want to know how it affects the overall MCU and what it's changing.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna push the multiverse. We know that from the trailer. So
yeah, we're just getting it pushed from a lot of different directions.
Yeah.
Now, and it's interesting to see.
Because even Venom pushed the multiverse.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
and technically Morbius is pushing the multiverse, which
that's been pushing it for some time.
Yeah. So we can actually that's a good segue.
Yeah.
The Morbius trailer, the full trailer dropped this week.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of a little hype about it. Because I liked Morbius as a character back when I was a teenager. I loved like the Rise of the Midnight Suns, Ghost Rider, Blade, Morbius. That in addition to X-Men, that was kind of one of the next things I collected was the Midnight Suns. And getting this, of course we see Michael Keaton as Vulture. So there's connection one.
And we've seen him in the trailer for 2 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then we see that was the first thing that kind of started this whole thing because you saw the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man in the poster.
I saw the poster. I did not. I couldn't tell which suit it was.
Yeah, so that's kind of been this whole time kind of kicking off this whole, and that's kind of also before the Venom trailer came out. That's when people were like, "Oh, so this is all connected," and then that's when the Sony rep got all like in trouble because she was like, "Yeah," and then Kevin Feige's like, "What you just said?"
Yeah.
Maybe the rep
your
was
Sony
related
mouth.
to Tom Holland.
Yeah, but for the first time, we get to see Morbius in full vamp mode.
Yeah,
and
hardcore.
Looks like he should look, right?
I am excited for it. I'm not super hyped for it, mostly because I just don't like Jared Leto. I think he's a jerk.
That's okay.
I mean, half the movie actors you watch on movies are jerks.
He just
know
struck a bone with me, I guess.
All three Spider-Mans got teased or their movies. Oscorp logo. Yeah, there's.
Yeah, I mean we've got every
building.
villain from every Spider-Man movie except for 2 Spider-Mans haven't been shown off. So it's kind of weird that we've got those. So
I
mean, let's get some.
But according to Feige, be okay if we don't see them.
Yeah,
I mean, I keep seeing that they're trying to keep it secret until the second full trailer drops.
I think it's funny that so you're telling me all the bad guys that you used one-off in movies and are like, yeah, I'll come back. But the 2 guys that played Spider-Man are like, I'm not coming to be in your movie.
I mean, they got replaced.
If I'm Maguire, I've been holding this 3-peat Spider-Man movie over everybody for all these years, and now I'm going to be in a 4th one? Yeah, I'm going to show up, so I still get to keep my record.
You dangle enough money.
All of a sudden, Tobey Maguire's the Dallas Cowboys.
Dangle enough money in my face, I'll be any movie you want me to be in.
I think somebody put that about the chick that's playing Domino. They put on there that she'll come back to play Domino again. He's like, oh, really? Like, you'll get paid to play Domino again? No crap.
I bet you if they offered Scarlett Johansson enough money and legit offered her the money, she'd probably be back and play Black Widow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I still think that's the plan all
There
along.
is no grudge that can be held so hard that it can't be paid off eventually.
I mean, you think Harrison? How bad does Harrison Ford being hate the Star Wars stuff?
Right,
and he still came back.
Yeah, because they paid him.
Because they paid him a lot.
So, so I'm excited about Morbius. I'm excited to kind of see. Morbius is weird because you had you had him as pretty much a Spider-Man villain for years, right? And that's how he started. He started as a villain. Then he became the anti-hero in the 90s, right?
Which is kind of what this is. Like Sony's building all these anti-heroes.
But it's like they're trying to build it all in one movie, right? You don't have I was the villain first, right? And I don't know that Venom really ever was the villain.
No, not yet.
He was anti-hero to start. Maybe he becomes
I feel like
Spider-Man's antagonist, but not necessarily villain.
we saw right away that Venom, in that little 2 seconds of ending, that Venom likes Peter.
Yeah, we did.
He's already obsessed with him. So I feel like that's probably going to be the turning point. We'll maybe see him kind of go. Eddie gets like
all of a sudden
hurt.
he puts a white spider on his chest.
Well, I think Spider-Man's going to get him.
Yeah.
In some way, shape, or form. I mean, you got to go to the black suit thing. I also saw a report the other day that Sony is. It's reported that Sony is using Null as their Secret War baddie.
We'll see.
That could be cool. But anyway,
Conversation's done. What I want to talk about.
no, this is related. In Venom says that there's a whole multiverse and that all of the symbiotes are connected through the hive mind.
Yeah, he basically kind of brings it up.
Which means that he might just become the Venom that we like through hive mind interdimensional memory, get the white spider and become the Venom because of Tobey Maguire's Venom.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Or Tobey Maguire shows up and's like,
I don't want to emo dance.
that would be the best if he did, though.
I don't want hair.
So
No,
wild
it
to
would
do
be
again.
I don't want hair in my face again.
It would be the best if all three of them emo danced.
Yes.
In a line down the street.
Or they did a Carlton or something.
So yeah. So we also got the full trailer for the Book of Boba Fett.
Looks great.
So cool.
So hype. And it was kind of it really wasn't a sizzle reel trailer. It was very down.
If that's a sizzle reel, then they did pretty good with that. That's a trailer.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't as action-y as maybe you thought it would be.
They were giving
right?
you more meat of the story, which I think is cool.
Yeah, he's basically picking up the pieces of Jabba, which
I think that's so cool.
here's the thing is anytime pre-Force Awakens we talked about the stories after Return of the Jedi. It's all what happens with the Empire, what happens with the Republic, blah blah blah. Nobody stops to think what happened to the underworld once Jabba got strangled.
Yeah, And you think that he's not the only Hutt out there too. So are we going to see more live action of the Hutt family in some way, shape, or form?
And
because I'm sure they're not going to be happy about him taking over their territory.
Disney's really been setting up the Crimson Dawn as a very large organization behind stuff.
I saw a thing the other day. Hopefully it's not true because I would rather it not be animated. But I saw another day a report of they're going to make the Darth Maul stuff an animated series.
No.
I do not want that. I really hope they keep it live action in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I would love to see it. I would love to see it bump off of the Andor show or bump off the Obi-Wan show.
He deserves more than 20 minutes of really cool live action.
The thing is I really like his animated series voice actor. Sam Witwer does a really good job being Darth Maul, more so than what's his bucket that voiced him in Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
The guy who played Saul in Guardians. I can't remember his name to save my life. Anyway,
so wait, Ray Park didn't actually voice him as the actor?
No.
He only said one line.
The guy who plays the Nova Corps Saul.
Yeah.
The guy that dies that Rocket's like, it's all.
Yeah.
That's the actual voice actor.
Ray Park just flips around.
Yeah.
Did Ray Park voice him in the...
Ray Park voiced Snake Eyes in the old movies.
No. I meant when he was... in the few seconds we saw Darth Maul come back in the Rogue One. Not Rogue One. Was it Rogue One? No, it wasn't Rogue One. What am I thinking?
In
Solo.
In Solo, that was Sam Witwer again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ray Park just
the guy who voiced him. Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah. Sam Witwer also does the Emperor's voiceover in a lot of stuff, too.
Interesting.
Yeah. And he was the guy who played... he was the guy who did the mocap for What's His Bucket in Force Unleashed. The Sith Apprentice. That's your main character in Force Unleashed. That is the actor.
Cool, okay.
So he's been very tied to the Star Wars franchise, for a few years. But yeah, so they can do some pretty cool stuff with animation.
They can. I just would love to see that played out live action.
Yeah, he was Starkiller. Starkiller. God, couldn't think of his name. Save my life. So he's no longer canon.
No.
But
Well, we'll see. They just keep kind of bringing in what they want when they want.
yeah, it's just fine. Do
Yeah.
it. Just do it.
I mean,
do it smart.
That's better than overall just, they're not completely
Saying
getting
no,
rid of
yeah.
everything. They're just like, okay, we can make this make sense now.
Yeah.
Which
No,
is fine.
Because, like I said, let's be honest. The Star Wars EU pre-Disney was kind of a mess.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I want to tell this story.
Yeah.
Okay, do it.
Okay.
And there was kind of a canonicity kind of committee that kind of approved stories, but over time it just kind of got bloated, right?
Yeah.
So I think it needed to happen. He'd be a perfect Inquisitor. Yes, he would. I mean, he's got that voice. I'm trying to think who Inquisitor was. It was somebody I knew.
In the animated series?
Yeah, in Rebels, yeah.
I liked his overall ending of his story.
Yeah.
Where he came back as a temple guard. It's great.
If the guy who voiced Thrawn doesn't actually play him in live action, I'm going to be very sad because he was like the best Thrawn voice ever.
I don't know. Benedict Cumberbatch being Thrawn, I would be so okay with that.
Yeah, it would
I'd be
work.
so okay with that.
It would totally work. Yeah.
And that's kind of the rumors I've heard. And I mean, if the Ahsoka show goes as planned, we should be seeing Thrawn.
Yeah, we're going to see Hayden Christensen in it.
Yeah. Which is, what is he going to be?
So we talked about it on
Force
the
Ghost, I
So we
guess,
talked
right?
about it on the podcast last week. Either Force Ghost or Flashback.
Yeah.
One of the two.
That's the only way I could see him working in,
Yeah.
in most of the stuff is flashbacks.
Yeah.
But I mean, it would still be cool to see him in that role.
I
again.
mean, he's already Force Ghosted once,
Yeah. Barely. But yeah.
and then all of a sudden he changed how he Force Ghosted.
It's fine.
Conspicuously.
It's fine.
He got younger as a ghost. He's got superpowers.
Once you're dead, you get to choose what you look like.
yeah.
But Obi-Wan
It's
could.
like He-Man.
See, that's the thing. It's like, why didn't you bring Ewan McGregor in as a Force Ghost? Like, if all of a sudden they're going to get younger,
Yeah.
why didn't you do that?
Yeah.
But no, they left Alec Guinness as the ghost.
Didn't that come out shortly after Alec Guinness had died or something?
No, he died. Alec Guinness, I believe, died in the mid to late 90s.
Okay.
So that edit that pulled what's his bucket out, putting Hayden Christensen in. I can't remember the actor that played Vader in The Suit and Return. That happened when the DVDs came out.
Right.
The first DVD releases. No,
It's Blu-ray.
Blu-ray and digital
Yeah.
HD. Yeah, when those came out, that's when he did that edit. It's like every time he re-released, like different things changed.
Are you loving what's happening to Brandon's hair every time he touches it as much as I am?
Hold on.
Yes.
What a poser.
It's just for the people. Benedict said he would never do it because he wouldn't want to put the blue makeup on all the time. He just,
That's a lousy reason.
Listen,
yeah.
he can put a green suit on and they can change him blue. It's fine.
All you got to do is just change color balance.
It's fine.
Fine.
Just color balance the camera different.
Yeah. He can figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, give him enough money,
We'll find it out.
he'll do it. We've already established there's a price tag.
Yeah.
Okay, staying with Disney, Lightyear trailer. What the hell is this?
Yeah.
Who
I
asked for this?
I mean, I'm excited about it. I love the Toy Story stuff. I'm curious if this is a start of, we're going to go ahead and do like a couple different movies based on some of these characters.
Yeah.
But you can see that.
So is there going to be a Disney Plus Woody's Roundup cartoon?
Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, but I would think that'd be more like a TV show. I don't know if they go for a movie, but
No, like a Disney Plus cartoon series, Woody's
Yeah.
Roundup, and actually make Woody's Roundup cartoon. That's actually a brilliant idea.
I'm sure they've already got it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's already on
Yeah,
the
I
table.
don't think you're gonna. Yeah, I think it's gonna look pretty cool. Yeah, I was surprised to see that Chris Evans is the voice actor,
Yeah,
and they were like, he was the only choice. I was like, what about the guy that did it the first time? Like, Tim Allen.
Couple
I know
reasons.
his voice is older.
his voice is older, but I think more than anything, he's kind of hot button
Yeah,
because of
he's
his
super-
conservative views.
Yeah, his political views.
Yeah, so I don't think Disney wants to go near that.
Yeah. Well, I think his show left. Wasn't his show on?
His show
ABC?
left Disney. Yeah,
and
it
went to Fox, which is because now it's
But
Disney again.
it's made by
It's probably made by like CBS or something.
it's made by Warner Brothers. Can't remember.
Yeah.
It's hard to my eyes cross when I think about television show. Like what's hilarious is when you're watching ABC and it was made by CBS Studios. You're like,
Yeah.
why didn't it's weird that CBS
Why
isn't
didn't you pick up your own show?
pick up your own show? Like it's just, but it's always been that way. It's been that way for decades.
Makes zero sense.
That studios just.
I guess at the end of the
Shop
day,
out.
they're like, well, whoever we're going to get the most money out of it, that makes the most sense.
I think what it is. I think what it is the studios, the stations recognize their demographics or whatever, and so they play to their demographics, but they still want to make shows that'll make money at other demographics, so they have to shop it to the other networks
Yeah,
and
man,
stuff
if I
like
can
that.
make money there, I'm going to make money
Yeah,
there.
I think that's a lot of it. And then starting on Netflix next week, I'm super excited.
Oh, is it this soon?
Yeah, next week. It's on the 19th.
Oh, so is Wheel of Time.
Yeah, I guess next
I
week.
didn't realize that was so close to you.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe not.
I'm excited for both
Maybe
of
not
those.
next week. Sorry,
Yeah, they're both the 19th, I guess.
19th. So that's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm less excited now. The Cowboy Bebop live action remake, like
Is it a movie or a TV series?
TV series.
Okay.
Yeah. I love the anime. I'm not a huge anime guy.
Yeah.
But Cowboy Bebop was one of the ones that I dug. It was very.
Space jazz.
It was space jazz, but I mean it kind of had that Western feel, kind of like Mandalorian has a little bit, but it wasn't like anime weird,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You know, just how
Well, and so that's why like a lot of the older animes are like that.
yeah,
Because it was, I think, originally drawn in the 80s. It didn't reach America until later. But same with Dragon Ball. There's a bunch of the more...
Bebop was kind of a simultaneous release, I think.
okay.
I believe. Yeah, it was later 90s. It kind of hit on both at the same time.
But yeah, a lot of those, the older stuff have a totally different feel than what is anime today.
Yeah, just like, you know, also I'm not a huge jazz fan, but like the soundtrack just worked. Like it fit tonally. You know, if you were a fan of Firefly, like I think Cowboy Bebop was kind of in that vein, right? It just had that cool. Let's see, Cowboy Bebop's now live action. Which anime would be a good fit? I think Fooly Cooly would be good. Thoughts? I've never actually watched Fooly Cooly. The only reason I know that that's how you say that is I got corrected so many times when I worked at GameStop by calling it FLCL. People are like, no, it's Fooly Cooly. I'm like, how the hell was I going to get that?
I've watched some of it, and I think it would be...
Yeah, I just see that. And I feel like you just cussed at me.
It would fit in that same... I think if they did it that similar style as what we've seen in the Cowboy Bebop trailer, it would work.
Yeah, that very, very artistic, very comic book panely. Now, I don't know that they're going to go as drastic as that one teaser trailer did,
Right.
where they're kind of interacting with the panel and jumping around. But the full trailer had, you know, you had some of those, you know, the kind of the monochrome colored shots and stuff. I think they're going to go in a very artistic direction. I think their casting is spot on.
Which I watched some of the anime, not a ton, but I am also super excited about this show just because of the artistic styles of the trailers.
yeah, that and the actor they got to play Jet was like freaking perfect.
Yeah.
Which I think, I don't remember if we talked about this on air or we just talked about it last week off camera, but Boom Studios is picking up a book for it,
Yeah.
which is in the same
Yeah,
style.
Boom's picking up everybody's license right now.
Wait, Boom's picking up what?
Cowboy Bebop.
They're taking it from Titan?
I don't know.
Titan just started. Their number one comes out.
Maybe it is Titan.
Okay. Yeah, because Titan owns the license for it right now.
Yeah.
And their new number one's about to come out.
Yeah, it's whatever new one is.
Okay,
yeah.
it's Titan. Titan from the United Kingdom.
Yeah, it's funny. Like Boom is what Dark Horse used to be.
Yeah.
Dark Horse was like the licensed dumpster
Yeah.
of comics, right? Like if
Well, and a lot of those licenses that they had of Marvel now.
yeah, no, like but like all the others that are coming out of the woodworks,
Yeah.
you know, it's just funny. I mean, DC had them too.
Yeah.
DC had like Star Trek and stuff like that, and I guess technically still do. I don't know.
That
Star
stuff's
Trek
IDW
is,
right
Star
now.
Trek's IDW.
IDW, that's right.
Transformers is IDW.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe. All the Hasbro stuff.
Yeah, IDW's still there, I guess,
Yeah.
doing a lot of the licensed stuff. But
So you forget about them because they won't ever put their books out on time.
yeah, Spike's voice is definitely different. I still like John Cho. John Cho is probably they're both mellow. Like Spike's original voice actor, Steve Bloom, which Steve Bloom did a lot of Wolverine voiceovers in video games and stuff like that. He's like the Wolverine voice. We'll see if he's the Wolverine in the next video game, the PlayStation
Still
game.
think Ben Percy should do it.
Freaking Ben Percy.
He pretty much is. Wolverine.
We still need to call him about doing some.
I mean, he's like the right height. He's got the voice. He could do the beard probably like in a heartbeat. Like just all right.
When he was here, I watched Ben gargle rocks. You know, that's just how you get that. God, yeah, Ben's voice. That's jealous.
Yep.
Right there. I'd kill for that voice. And I've got a loud, somewhat baritone voice, but man,
It's like
he's got that perfect gravel.
It's like if you're not going to write comic books, like I know what you could be doing for money.
Yeah, exactly.
And
We'll
you can probably make a lot of it.
We'll pay you. I'll pay you $5 to just say Unknown Comics in this microphone, and just let us use it in perpetuity.
Yeah.
We're good to go.
He probably would. He's such a cool dude.
He is a cool dude. Yeah, so that's pretty much all the news that we had for this week. So if there's anything you'd like to talk about, put it in the comments. We'll talk about it next week. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to get into our discussion topic. Our discussion topic for this week is the most impactful fiction stories to us. So can you elaborate on that? Like what your thought process is when you thought of that?
Like,
That way, Brandon and I have time to think more because we're still just like.
like what piece of fiction, be it any media,
Yeah, movies, TV, books,
is
comics.
basically what turned you into a fiction nerd?
Okay.
Like what drew you into
That's
all the
Okay.
the fantasies and the sci-fis and all that stuff?
I've got that then. That's maybe I do. I don't know. Okay, so chew on that. We'll be back in just a little bit to talk about it. Yeah. So hang on. Put that up, and there we go. Music end. And we're back.
I felt like it was better than last time.
And I think I just talked over it, and I just patted it out.
Distraction.
Yeah. So yeah. So to our discussion topic for tonight is what.
Still gonna let y'all go first.
Yeah, what piece of fiction was it for you? What was it that kind of led you on the path of geekdom? Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you're getting at? You go first.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
I knew it was gonna be that. I said that. I said it was gonna be Tolkien.
So what? You did say that. So what's your story there?
I was in the 5th grade when that movie came out.
Stop it. It's an adult.
And
That was the adult. He said. Well, the first one came out in 99 or 2000?
2000.
And that's the earliest memory I have of like this nerd stuff's pretty cool. Like being into fantasy and
Yeah.
all that stuff. I think that is why I gravitate towards characters like Superman and Captain America, because to me Aragorn is the defining character of what a hero should be.
Yeah.
Not even Frodo. Who cares about Frodo? Aragorn was like my character.
Yeah. Well, there's a good reason he was based on Jesus.
Well,
I mean, that's his character.
He's a good guy.
but that was when I started collecting. I collected all the action figures, and at one point, I think I had almost all of them. Hobbit.
Who made those action figures? Do you remember?
I want to say it was Hasbro, but I don't
That's
remember.
probably all right.
They make everything, don't
Yeah,
they?
pretty much.
They did. McFarlane's making a lot of stuff now.
Yeah, he is. He's getting
Yeah.
the largest.
I know
scale
it wasn't McFarlane because I did collect McFarlane toys at the time also. But yeah, I think The Hobbit is the only book that I've read multiple times all the way through.
Okay.
And
Have you read the Silmarillion?
not in completion, but I have.
I just want to throw this in there. That is basically like all the appendages and
It's
background stories.
It's the Middle Earth Bible.
Yeah. So
It reads like the Bible.
that comes up pretty big in Ready Player 2. I just finished that. So
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
going to throw that out there. The ending of that book is in Middle Earth.
I've read select stories, and I've read like some of the unpublished works that weren't in the Silmarillion, like
Right.
the Children of Hurin and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. But not the entire Silmarillion.
Yeah.
I'm going to tackle that before the Amazon show comes out next year, though. It's my
Yeah.
goal.
There you go. So for me, that's hard to say. So I was kind of a geek from birth. And the reason I can say that confidently
Because your older brother.
is because I had an older brother that's 11 years older. That
I have
was,
a little bit of a similar here.
yeah, that was a geek. So you're growing up, I'm just immersed in it because that's what he was into, right? Yeah. So, growing up, I had Star Wars and Star Trek and all that stuff. I think but those were just popular in general. I think the first time that I realized I was like a geek.
Be
Yeah,
nasty.
cartoons and gaming count. Be nasty. Let's see. Mike Taylor says that's probably what started it. 7th grade was Wheel of Time, and the Narnia series was there too. Yeah.
So you got to be really excited about the show on Amazon.
I remember watching seeing all my dad's Wheel of Time's books, so I'm super excited about the show, even though I haven't read it.
Yeah, I've never actually got into Wheel of Time. So I guess for me, the first time I kind of went on that first fiction that I kind of took on that I didn't inherit from my brother would probably have to be. So this will come from the tabletop game. Is BattleTech.
Okay.
So kind of got into that in early middle school. And one thing about BattleTech is like even today the game is very technical, very clumsy. It's not a very streamlined game. It didn't age well, but they built so
Still
much.
has new stuff coming out.
Yeah,
somehow.
they built so much fiction behind it, like very much that world building, right? And we
Yeah.
talked about this on a previous podcast. You know what fictions attract us, and you and I talked and agreed that things that have like rival factions and stuff, right? Where they're very different in identity and they're fighting. BattleTech had that, right? And it had that very deep timeline of events and stuff. I think that's kind of the first fiction that I kind of went with on my own. That and like Dragonlance, reading the Chronicles trilogy, because I was getting into D&D at the time, and so it was recommended to me. And so those were kind of the first fictions that I kind of went after on my own, without, like I said, having inherited that from my brother.
Yeah.
And yeah, from then on, pretty much, 5th, 6th grade, I knew I was a complete dork. And, I had to wear the badge the rest of my life. And now people wear it like it's nothing. And no,
Yeah.
I bled for it.
And hurt for it
I hurt for it.
emotionally.
I'm glad I could do it so that my kids
Yeah.
don't have to.
Right.
Yeah.
Because our kids are doomed.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah. My wife's like, I don't like all this stuff. I was like, well, it's happening. I didn't tell them to like what they're liking. They're just liking it.
Apparently it's good, and
Yeah.
you're wrong.
Yeah.
Crystal, I would say Crystal kind of meets me halfway on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
She kind of veered out of her lane, as a marriage is you want to do, right? It's that compromise. It's kind of trying to meet the other in their play and where they are.
I would
Sorry.
say Amanda enjoys it. She's just not like I obsess over it. I have to absorb all the knowledge over
Yeah.
whatever universe it is. She just enjoys being entertained for however long the movie is.
I would say Crystal is way more into Harry Potter than I am, and
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
She's
Like-
Amanda's definitely more into Harry Potter. I like to make jokes about how Gandalf kicks everybody's butt, but
Yeah, I don't know. Gandalf and Dumbledore it'd be a fight.
Yeah.
no, it wouldn't. Gandalf's a demigod.
He is a demigod. This is true. Gandalf the Grey or Gandalf the White, no question.
Even Gandalf the Grey was has more power in his pinky than Dumbledore.
Yeah. Well, different realms.
There you go. All right, Chris. We've stalled long enough.
Yeah. So I think I've got it. But, for me, growing up in the 90s, early 90s was childhood. I had Power Rangers. Look, start off just like you, though. Older brother was already a nerd, right?
Yeah.
But you start off, I had Power Rangers coming on every weekend. I had Batman cartoons, Spider-Man cartoons. I had
Yeah.
the Turtle cartoons, Turtle video games. I mean, Zelda, all this stuff was like right then coming out. Nintendos, Super Nintendos. I mean, you had all the nerdom just like hitting everywhere and hard. So
Yeah.
that for me, I think was a start. But I think if you're going to talk about like when I got to the point where the nerd kind of fantasy aspect is probably going to be Stargate.
Okay.
Star Trek I watched a lot.
Yeah.
I only had 3 channels, and there was lots of Star Trek reruns. I watched
Yeah.
Next Generation like crazy.
Star Trek was on UPN. Yeah. That's how you knew.
But then Stargate
For the kids, UPN is now what Paramount Plus is.
yeah. So when Stargate came on, I don't know. I followed that, and I enjoyed that a lot. It's not as crazy as some of the other science fictions with the aliens and stuff like that. It's still a lot more just based on humans and how they've somehow got to other places. But
Yeah.
I think for me that was probably kind of where I stuck, and I'll still go back and watch it all the time.
So did you watch all the way to Universe?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think there's wasn't there something else after Universe? They
It
have
was-
something
it
else
was
like on their app or something.
It was
now.
the movie SG1 Atlantis
Atlantis
Universe.
Universe, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's something I've watched. They had a lot of the same continuity all the way through.
I want to say there was a Stargate animated kids show.
Yeah, there's something else
vaguely-
here recently that
I
they've
vaguely
had.
remember that.
And then, of course, here more lately. You know, the older I've gotten, the more, you know, I'm actually reading and getting into the stuff. You know, the Witcher series. You know, I love that stuff. I mean, it's just great. I'm going through Dune right now. I've enjoyed everything I've gotten into there.
What's your new season is in post production right now?
It's
coming
season
soon.
2 is next month.
It is next month. Okay,
Next
so
month.
it's almost done.
Yeah.
Cool. Sweet.
So I'm excited about that. It's just now that I'm, like I said, I'm immersing myself into some of these universes. It's really, really cool. So
So going to your comments, Be Nasty agrees with you, Tanner, that he would wipe the floor with the Lil Wizard. Centella says, what got me into science fiction is watching Rescue 911 hosted by Bill Shatner. Oh my gosh. That is actually, side note, I learned that electricity could grab you and hold on to you
Oh yeah.
through watching that show. I don't know how I didn't know that from other like PSAs or things, but that's what like made me scared of electricity in a good way. I didn't know who he was. Then watched Star Trek the motion picture and fell in love. Went back and watched the original series. That is crazy that your introduction to Star Trek was the motion picture. That's now again, that was one of the things that I just grew up like knowing. Like my brother watched.
what's crazy about the original
All of them.
series is only like 3 seasons.
Yeah, no.
The movies were bigger than
Now,
all the TV shows.
now there was the animated series
Yeah.
where they all came back and voiced, and so that kind of continued it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy story because they were going to do another series in the 70s, in the late 70s. It never panned off. It was just going to be Star Trek 2, I
Yeah.
think is what they were going to call it. That's what actually ended up being the motion picture.
Yeah.
That's why they have kind of in the motion picture, they kind of have the weird suits. That's actually the suits they were going to wear in that TV series.
Okay.
That theme song that was in the motion picture was going to be the original TV theme song, but then got readopted and became Next Generation's theme song. So it just got re-implemented back in '87.
And I will say I've watched all of Star Trek too. So I mean, pretty,
Phase 2, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Thank you.
nerd.
I probably stopped watching Star Trek series probably in the middle of Voyager.
Yeah. And I've gone back and rewatched them here recently.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm trying to go through. It's taking me a while because I only do it every once in a while. But I'm going through Deep Space Nine right now.
God, like
It's a hard one to watch. That's the hardest
until-
one for me to go through.
until you get to the Dominion War, and it just gets once they start flying in the Defiant.
Yeah.
Like I think Star Wars fans like the last few seasons of DS9 because it became
Yeah.
it was the Dominion War. It was just like they were, the Federation was at war, and it was cool.
Yeah.
I loved the later seasons of DS9, and that kind of overlapped with Voyager.
Yep.
And so I think I just kind of got spent. I never really watched Enterprise. I went back and watched a couple episodes.
Enterprise is good, but when it got to the end, it was like, oh yeah, we're canceled. So here's the ending in one show.
Yeah,
You're like, what?
I think the only reason I went back and watched anything.
This was just getting good.
The only reason I went back and watched anything Enterprise is I heard that there was an episode with Romulans in it. And I was like, hold on, wait a second. They haven't met Romulans.
Yeah.
What are they like? That was a whole shtick in
there was
Star
a whole
Trek
thing before
was
that, yeah.
well, they kind of made it okay. They did it in a very clever way to where they didn't really see the Romulans. So no human, because the whole shtick in Balance of Terror, which is the first episode that you see Romulan in the original series, is that nobody in the Federation had ever seen a Romulan. And then, oh my gosh, they look like Vulcans. And then they kind of retcon that Vulcans and Romulans share the same lineage. Even though in Balance of Terror, Spock says nothing about it. Like you'd think he'd just know as a Vulcan. They later came back and kind of fixed it. But that's probably the only reason I watched Enterprise is I wanted to see how
They're just Eldar and Dark Eldar.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roman elves and well, actually, if you look at it, there were actually two major philosophies in Roman culture. There were Stoics and there were Epicureans, and that is what Vulcans and Romulans are. So there you go. There's a little backstory. Go on YouTube, watch Star Trek Continues. It finishes the 5-year mission. It goes to Kirk being promoted to Admiral. I think I vaguely know of it, but I haven't watched it. So, but yeah, no, like I said, I was born a geek. It was in my blood.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean,
my poor dad just wanted a kid.
Even a
that
lot
would
of the
work on
people
cars
now
with him,
that
and he didn't get him.
act like they're not geeks or nerds because they were born in that timeline. Like when I was, people are my age. I mean, they know about it.
Yeah.
They may not be as full into it as we are
Right.
because they're not around it all the time. But I mean, how could you? I mean, if you got up and watched a cartoon, you were nerding.
Right.
Oh yeah, Disney Plus Day is next Friday. So
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot more stuff then. Yeah, a lot of sizzle reels. I think there's 3 or 4 different Star Wars sizzle reels we're supposed to see.
I wonder if maybe we should do a Disney Plus Day podcast Friday afternoon or something.
I mean, if you want a podcast on my birthday, it's all good.
I'll make Tanner sing to you.
That way everybody can be like, happy birthday in the comments, and I'll feel a little happy about myself.
So everyone, that'll be it for our discussion topics. I'm moving on. My brain's already moved on to the next thing.
Wow.
So don't forget, we are back to doing live sales. So 11 a.m. on Friday, tomorrow, if you're watching this live. If you're not, well, there you go.
We're watching it today. It probably already happened.
Yeah, it probably already happened if you're watching it today because Tanner hasn't uploaded it yet. Yeah, we've been getting ready for the live sale. So that's happening right here at twitch.tv/unknowncomicbooks. Thoughts on Revelations Part 2? Like Masters of the Universe Revelations? If so, I'll pin it and I
Get it next
because
week?
Part 2 hasn't come out yet in cartoon form, but we can talk about it next week. So anyway, we'll be back. I'm totally like
Just
sorry.
lost it.
Yeah, live sale.
Live
tomorrow.
sales Friday and Mondays now.
Fridays and Mondays for now. Like I said, as we kind of build it, we may do more later in the evening stuff. Our 11 a.m. show tomorrow is kind of more for our East Coast people. I mean, anybody's welcome to watch.
Yep.
But we're kind of steering it to that, and then our Monday shows are kind of more for our West Coast, trying to hit them at their lunch break and stuff. Like I said, we're going to try to work in more evening stuff as we go and get more people trained in to do it. So be watching for that. We still have all our typical Twitch shows. We have Hobby Hangout on Tuesdays. We have Comic Chat on Wednesdays.
And
we have this podcast on Thursdays. And then Fridays, we're going to have live sales and other things.
We may be gaming tomorrow afternoon.
We may be gaming tomorrow. We may be doing Gloomhaven. We're tentatively looking at doing that, so that'll be a lot of fun. You definitely want to follow us on Twitch. You want to follow us on YouTube. You want to subscribe to all the things, all the things.
That's something. Our auctions are going to be on Twitch.
Yes.
So you have to follow us at least 10 minutes before the first auction
To
if
be
you
able
want
to
to
chat.
participate.
Yeah. So if you do want to do auctions, we will do that on
And
Twitch.
we got some good stuff coming.
Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff in that room over there. We're going to go back to using the other room.
Yeah.
We're actually going to have to get after our lazy butts and move.
We have
move
2
gear.
studios, and we get to use them now.
Yeah, so Darren doesn't want to keep trying to take that room over. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you next week. Have a good one.